Okay, my name is Kimberly Jeffrey, and I'm with Justice Now. Justice Now is a human rights and legal service organization in Oakland, California that work with people in women's prison to build a safe and compassionate world without prisons. This is my story. In 1996, I served my first prison term at Valley State Prison for Women. I was given 16 months for the crime of petty theft. I would go on to spend the next 13 years of my life in and out of the prison system with a total of 49 arrests and 23 prison terms. I guess I'm what you call a repeat offender. But what I remember being repetitive, what offenses I remember being repeated, was the demoralization, the degradation, the humiliation at the hands of the California Injustice Department and its many industrial complexes. I was devalued as a human. No longer was my name Kimberly. I was to be referred to as a number, X17813, and you had to carry that number with you everywhere and present it when being asked to by a guard. Being treated as if I were less than a human produced in me a despair, a mourning, as if I experienced a death, a loss, the loss of my dignity, my worthiness, my self-value. CDC, California Department of Corrections, these are the real repeat offenders who repeatedly offended me by denying me my right to dignity and humanity, repeatedly offending me by denying me the right to form and maintain a family, repeatedly offending me through oppression, exploitation, diminishing my ability to feel human. At Justice Now, we view prisons as a tool of reproductive oppression. I would like to share with all of you ways in which I have been personally affected. One example, while incarcerated in a San Francisco County jail, I received a legal visit by a representative from the Department of Human Services Child Dependency Court, who tried to bring about an agreement claiming that if I would immediately receive a full hysterectomy, I could then be allowed to have my last baby back that was taken by Child Protective Services and at that time was in foster care. In 2009, I entered CDC in my 6th month of pregnancy. Due to having 2 prior cesareans, it was advised that a repeat C-section would be necessary, so a date was scheduled for this procedure to be performed. On the day that I was to deliver my child, moments before surgery, while under heavy sedation with both arms bound by straps, the surgeon casually, as if this thing was a regular procedure, he casually verified to me the tubal ligation he will be performing immediately after delivery, and I panicked. I pleaded to him to please understand me and hear me clearly that I at no point requested or desired this tubal ligation. So with clear hesitation and an unsuccessful attempt to persuade me otherwise, I was finally handed a medical form to sign, supposedly declining the tubal ligation following delivery. I was told to put my signature on this paper, which I could not fully understand nor read due to the incoherent state I was in as a result of the anesthesia. Today, I do not know if this tubal ligation was performed or not. Soon after delivery, I was visited by a nurse who wanted to discuss birth control options with me. I politely asked if I could discuss this later or at a later date since I was trying to bond with my newly born baby. I wanted no distractions since I knew I had a very short time to be with my baby before returning to custody. She ignored my request and insisted I consent to sterilization. I felt pressured to choose an option at that immediate moment, and I was clearly being coerced to opt for the longer lasting forms of birth control, namely the IUD or the Depo-Provera shot, in an attempt to further control my freedom to reproduce. I told the nurse that I was concerned with side effects and I needed more time to research and explore more options to birth control. Her response was that there were no side effects and it was all totally safe. Even today, within my community, I experience oppressive control by the state regarding my body, my family, and my choice to reproduce. The major goal of some welfare reformers is to reduce the number of children born to women receiving public assistance. One way that I have noticed is by making only long-acting contraceptives available to women through Medi-Cal. I've tried in the past to get on birth control pills, but found out only the long-acting forms were available by prescription from the pharmacy, namely the IUD or the Depo-Provera. I am a participant in the CalWorks TANF Welfare Program in California. Yearly, you go up for review to determine continued eligibility. You're asked to sign numerous forms. One that particularly stood out to me is the MFG Maximum Family Grant Rule for recipients, which states that if you are on welfare, no longer will you receive aid or cash grants for any child born into your family. Reminds me of a saying I read, I guess if you can't feed them, you can't breed them. The former name is the Family Cap Law. Prisons and the industrial complexes are tools of reproductive oppression. A prison that deprives people of basic sustenance, including adequate medical care, is incompatible with the concept of human dignity and has no place in civilized society. Thank you, and God bless you.